Hey, what's going on to all my gaming addicts? Welcome back to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast, a show all about gaming and other related news to give you that fix to ease your gaming itch. This is episode number 37, and today is March 20th, 2022, and I am your host, Trey Turpin. As always, I'm here with my brother, Shane Turpin. What's going on, bruh?
What's going on, bro, man? I'm glad to be back for another one, man. We've been on the road with this one, man. So let's just keep with the good work, man. Keep giving these people a good show. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it, man. What you uh what you been playing this week, man? As always, we normally start out with the what we been doing.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go ahead and discuss. Let's see, pop it up there. Well, just many people surprise. I've been playing the shredders that recently just came out on Xbox Game Pass. It was a game. It's an indie game. It was also part of the ID at Xbox showcase event that we're going to talk about later on in the show. Um, I've been playing the heck out of that game. I really enjoy um I don't know, it's just something about those type of games, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Skate, Shredder. Used to play 1080 Avalanche and 1080 on the Nintendo 64. Just really love a good snowboarding game or just extreme sports game. So I've been playing that, and then also recently, on I posted a picture on Twitter where I recently purchased Returnal for the PlayStation 5. um, I've been wanting to play that game for some time now. I was just waiting for a good sale. I've seen it on sale a couple times for about $50. I don't think that's a sale because it's initially $70, and I see it for 50, and I'm like, it can go down a little bit lower than that. So I seen that GameStop actually had it for about like 35.99. So I was like,
Okay.
hey, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that. So I've been playing that, and man, it is definitely, so far I am very impressed, and I really, really enjoy the game. The game, for people that's not really familiar with the game, you play as this character. I think her name is Seren or Celine, something like that. I'm still very early in the game, and you just crash on this planet, and the whole purpose is to try to get off this planet, but you figure out that you keep dying, and when you die you start all over, and the map changes. You start in different locations every time when you exit the initial level where your ship is. So I've been playing that. It's very difficult, so you people that really love like the rogue likes or Elden Ring and things like that, I feel like this would be right up your alley with the challenge difficulty. But I'm really enjoying that. I mainly got it so I can play with my boy Ant. He has the game as well. We're going to try to play that co-op when the new update comes out. Um, I haven't touched it. It's been on my mind. I haven't touched Dying Light 2. I kind of took a little break from it, but it definitely has been on my mind. I've been wanting to jump into it, but I just been craving a different type of game. So, like I said, I've been playing Shredders and Returnal. What about you, Shane? What you been up to?
Man, just probably like everybody else out there, man. I've been stuck in this world of Elden Ring, man. Like that's the only game I've played. It's actually crazy you brought up the shredders because I don't know when
Mhm.
they finally dropped that, but I was actually waiting for that as well because everybody was, I think the last snowboarding game I can remember playing was 1080. So
Yep, same. I mean,
if people
people forget about SSX and SSX Tricky.
oh yeah,
That was a
right, right.
big one. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, definitely
Hmm.
forgot about that. But I think the last one I can remember actually jumping into hard body was 1080. But yeah, I do remember
Hmm.
SSX and SSX Tricky, but I just don't remember playing that as much
Hmm.
as I was into that 1080. But so I was definitely going to check it out. I've heard a lot about it. Uh saying it's not as it's more realistic or should I say than like a SSS Tricky or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Hmm.
So I definitely would check it out and see what it's about. But like I said, me man, like I said, I've been playing that Elden Ring.
Hmm.
bruh, you gotta get it, man. You gotta get it. Hands down, man. Hands down.
Really? Okay, okay,
Like,
okay.
put it like this: when I pick the game up, I have to make sure that I have nothing else going on in my day because I can't just play for an hour or two. Like each time I'm trapped into it for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours game sessions. You know what I mean? You know me here lately, I haven't had that kind of time to play a game. So
Mhm.
to be actually wanting to play that game, like when I go to sleep, I'm thinking about my next move or what I need to do or what I could try differently or when I go to work I can't wait, I'm just anticipating for that time to come for me to get off so I could possibly play the game or whatever. Like it's really got a little grasp on me, so I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I mean, to be all honesty, I haven't even beat the first boss yet, but
Right, right.
it's tore me up, man. I've beat a bunch of side bosses, but
Oh, you hey, bro, you're on mute.
yeah, I could say probably about 20 times that my fault actually hit it with the big finger
Mm, I thought it was like the
there.
internet or something. I'm like, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
But so I could say I played the first boss probably about, like I said, 20 times, and I just keep getting so close, man, so close. I'm like so close from killing it, man. I could say less than an eighth of its health left, man. And
Mhm.
it just gets me every time. It just gets me every time. I'm loving the game because like you got to be a little strategic with your battles. It's not just going in stab, 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 hit, button mashing, and you're going to beat the boss. No, you actually have to anticipate the moves, dodge at the proper times, use things at the proper times. I mean, it's definitely a great game. I can't wait to get further in the game and see what's more in store for me. But I actually got a little upset because at first I try to build up my character a little bit before I just went into playing the boss or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
after I did that, I saved up a little bit of money, got a couple extra items, increased my levels a little bit. Well, I ended up losing about 20,000 runes because when you die, you drop your runes or whatever, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
pick
yeah.
them back up your next round. But one of the boss matches, I forgot to pick it back up first, and I died,
Mhm.
so I ended up losing. I was so mad. I should have just upgraded it to my stats, but I was trying to be greedy and use it for some items down the road. But now I know that just if I get the extra money, upgrade,
Yeah.
upgrade, upgrade.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And similar thing of what I've been running into with Returnal. Like I would save up. I'm like, man, I don't want to use my, little I forgot what they're called, but that you get like these little I like I said, I'm still very into the game, so I don't know. It's like you grab this currency, and there's like three different types of currency you can get, and like they're hard to find. And I would hold on to them so I can spend them when I really need to, but you don't know when you're gonna come, like what you're gonna come against, and you die. So it's like, man, I wish I would have just spent it instead of trying to hold on to them. Yeah,
Same
so.
here, same
Mhm.
here. But now I've learned my lessons, so you know, definitely gonna do things a little more differently here. But like I said, I'm loving the game, man. I'm loving it. Like each time I play it, man, each time I jump into it, I learn something different, or how to do this, or how to use that, or what this item was used for, or what I should be
Mhm.
doing differently. Like, because I mean, it explains stuff to you somewhat, but it doesn't really tell you that you need to take this and do this and do that and do this with it, and this is how you do this. Like you kind of gotta explore and learn some of these things on your own and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's been an experience, man. It's been an experience. Sometimes you're just frustrated, and that's when I put it down for a couple minutes. Go make something to drink and get back in, and or maybe I go off to a different part of the world and do something different. But
Mhm.
like I said, it's definitely a top contender for game of the year for sure, for sure. Even though it's early in the year, so I don't want
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
want to say that, but it's definitely gonna be up there. I believe so.
That's crazy. And so you're just one of the many people that's telling me to go ahead and get it. So I hear this on a daily. I think, like I said, I keep saying I'm gonna pull the trigger. I just haven't yet. I do have some credit for like Xbox, so I might just use that to help me get it, since I don't have nothing else to use it on. But with that being said, just one quick question. So this is your first like Bloodborne, Dark Souls game, and you're
Yes.
actually enjoying the genre or the formula that they have going on.
Yes, yes, I am. Like I said, I like games with a little bit of a challenge, and at times it is rather frustrating. I can't lie. I've gotten a little upset several times. Like I said, this is the first boss I've played. I mean, it's the first big boss. I've played like little dungeon bosses and stuff like that, and some of those gave me a little troubles at first when I was at lower levels. But
Right.
you just gotta stick with it and try something different next time. You know what I mean? And figure out their attack pattern or times when it's best to block or a way to knock them off for a second to where you got a few seconds to run in there and use your attack. See, I'm actually a mage, but I also plan on going back and playing a different class as well. So I'm more magic prone. Uh, I want to give that swing first. So like I said, yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it for to be my first time. Yeah, I'm definitely into it, man. I wish I would have found out about this genre way before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's better late than never, man. And from what I'm hearing, it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's probably not that not that way for everybody, but people is like Elden Ring is like the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you playing Elden Ring and then you try to go back to the older games. Like there might be things that Elden Ring does better than the previous games and stuff like that. So it might be even more of a challenge. But the difficulty and the challenge of the game in general will always be there. That's their staple in those games. Mhm.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
actually heard from a few of my buddies that this is actually a rather bit more easy, a little easier than some of the older games, which I wouldn't be able to speak on that, but just from a friend of a friend telling me these
Really?
things. But that not to say that it is easy.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
saying it's a little easier than some of the other games that
I
they
think
were way more difficult.
I think that's crazy because you think you would hear that a lot more like
Right,
in the
right.
media and stuff like that too.
Right,
Because
but that's just from what a couple I've heard it
yeah,
from 2 people who told me that, but you know what I mean, I don't really,
I
know if
mean,
that's the truth.
no, it makes sense because I think a lot more people grasped onto this game compared to the other games. Like I said, these games have been known for difficulty. A lot of people have tried them and you just quit, And I've seen people do the same thing with this, but it seems like this one just did astronomically well. And like way more people are playing these than if the previous games came out, it was just like the stands or the fans of the series. So that's good. Like I said, I definitely got to get it, man. I got to stop bull jiving and get the job done and
Yeah,
purchase it.
definitely let me know, man, and I can help walk you through a few things, and,
Oh yeah.
we can join up. If you get it on Xbox, we can join up
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I'm probably gonna get it on Xbox for
make some
sure.
things happen, man, for sure.
Okay, was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nah, man, like I said, that's all I've been playing, man, for real, so
Okay. All right. Well, of course, before we go ahead and get started, we have a great show for you guys. In this episode, we're going to discuss the recent state of play, which was all about Hogwarts Legacy. We're also going to talk about ID at Xbox, the event that happened the day prior to the state of play. And then we're also going to talk about that there's been some troubles with the development of the new Perfect Dark within the initiative. So we're going to dive into that as well. But of course, before we get started, if you would like to help support the show, go ahead and subscribe to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date when new videos drop. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment. For our audio listeners, make sure to subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to stay up to date for new episodes. Also, rate and leave a review, which will help the show out tremendously. And of course, on behalf of The Gap, a big thanks to everyone for continuing to show love and support. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our first topic here, which is the Hogwarts Legacy. So of course, last week Sony went ahead and did a state of play, and it was just pretty much highlighting their Japanese partners, their Japanese developers, and just showing off some games that are coming this year. Not too big of games, I would call like AA or maybe AAA, just not well known IPs or anything like that. So they went ahead and did that one, and then right after that, a couple of days later, they went ahead and announced that they're going to do another state of play, and this one was going to be all about Hogwarts Legacy, which has been announced a few years ago, and this is the first time we're actually seeing gameplay, and they're just pretty much giving us a deep dive. It was about 15 minutes of gameplay. So I have an article here that we're going to pull up. You know how I like to pull up the article for you guys. All right. So this is an article on IGN. So I'll go ahead and just read off. So it says that Avalanche Software lifted the veil on Hogwarts Legacy. During a special state of play, the 20-minute show was dedicated to showing off new gameplay and plot details. As seen in today's state of play, Hogwarts Legacy will let players live their full wizarding life as a fifth-year student at Hogwarts. That includes a wizard duel with another classmate, brewing potions in class, flying on a broomstick, and exploring the school's campus in your free time. The player is tasked with investigating a rumored goblin rebellion led by a goblin named Ranrock. Further noting there was an uneasy alliance between the goblins and dark wizards. As Hogwarts Legacy is set to be in the late 1800s. The decision to set it in the time period was to ensure your legend is never overshadowed by any other hero, Harry Potter. Though the developer assured fans of the wizarding world that the gameplay will be familiar to everything you loved about the Harry Potter series. Today's broadcast also detailed new gameplay mechanics and features included in Hogwarts Legacy, including a talent system in which you can upgrade specific skills such as stealth or your ability to efficiently use abilities you learn when you are in the room of requirement. All right. And that's pretty much it that I highlighted about that. So I also have a little bit of notes here of my own. All right, pull that up. So, of course, like I said, it was about 20 minutes long, but they showed about like 14 to 15 minutes of gameplay. The game is coming out holiday 2022. It's pretty much an open world RPG of Hogwarts and surrounding areas like the Forbidden Forest and more. Of course, you got your flying broomsticks to traverse around the open world areas quickly. And then you have combat while casting spells. Like that was really looking dope when they were showing the combat of you dueling another classmate, like the series has portrayed in the past. Classes to attend to learn more spells and potions. So this is giving me like a bully vibe. If you ever played the PS2 classic Bully.
Yes.
And then of course there's like tons of secrets to discover. There's like hidden chambers, and there's like hidden doors and things like that leads to just all kinds of secrets around the just open world and Hogwarts itself. So Shane, I don't know how I know we've watched the first couple of Harry Potters when they first came out, the movies, and of course we've read some of the books. Like,
Definitely.
is this on your radar? Are you still a fan of the wizarding world of
Man, am I?
Yeah, yeah,
Did you not just tell you that I chose to be a mage in Elden
yeah,
Ring?
yeah, yeah. True that. True
Yes,
that. Yeah, yeah.
yes. This is definitely something that grasps my attention. This is definitely something I must check out. Harry Potter. I mean, we grew up in that time when Harry Potter was the izzle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's
Yep.
me bleeping stuff out. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was it. You know what I mean? I've seen all the Harry Potters. I've read several. I haven't read all the books, but I have read more than one. And
Hmm.
I mean, definitely looking forward to this game, man. And then everything they're saying you can do, it seems like if they do what's supposed to be done with it, this could be a great game.
Hmm.
Definitely, you know what I mean? Especially to a Harry Potter fan, which you know how us fans could be sometimes. We're a little harsh and a lot more you know,
Critical, pretty much.
critical, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
critical on you know what we expect from things. So definitely will give it my one eye scrutiny. You know what I mean? Give it the once over. Definitely. So I can't wait, man. Like I said, I'm excited for it. What about
Hmm.
yourself? Are you interested in this?
Oh man, I'm definitely interested in it. Like I said, like I've try to make it quick because it's a long story, but it's like I never knew anything about Harry Potter until the first movie came out. You know what I'm saying? Um, I remember mom surprised us with tickets to go see it opening weekend. Still didn't know anything about it, but as soon as I sat in that seats and the movie started playing, fell in love with it. And I think that's probably one of the better moments instead of like expecting things. You know, like I completely didn't expect anything. I was like, oh, we're going to a movie. Okay, let's go see it. And like it introduced me to this world unexpectedly. And I just fell in love with it. So that's the short version of it. And I've just been a fan ever since. Um, definitely after that read a couple books, and this just seems like a Harry Potter dream, you know, a dream game. It's an RPG game. It's a single player RPG, open world. You can explore Hogwarts all you want to, just like in the series, the books and the films. You have the broomsticks flying. I wonder if they're going to have Quidditch matches.
Quidditch, yes.
um, that like they gotta have that. You come on, you gotta have that.
If they do it right, if they
Yeah, if
do
they
it
do it
right.
right, of course, of course. And then you got like the Forbidden Forest, and like I believe it was like I forgot the other areas, but it was like you can explore other areas other than just Hogwarts itself. You're not trapped in like the campus of Hogwarts.
Yes.
So that just seems dope. The combat looks very, very dope. Like I feel like they're gonna nail this. Like Avalanche is definitely on point when it came to this presentation and showing off the gameplay. Like I'm very excited. Am I going to get it day one? We'll just have to see. I'm gonna just see what's going on. Probably see what the reviews is talking about and things like that. Like regardless, I'm gonna still get it. It's just if I'm gonna get it sooner or later.
Right, right.
But yeah, man, like this looks like I've seen nothing but praise. I haven't seen any Harry Potter fans or anything like that think this is gonna be garbage or in any kind of way. Um, and it's just I just want to know a little bit more because you are starting out as a fifth year
Hmm.
student. Like you're not starting off in the first year, they're
They,
jumping you into that fifth year. And I think even the other students and the school organization and everything is one like, huh? Why is he? This is a new student and he's fifth year. Like, you know, what happened to the past or what? Like, what's his story or his or her
right.
story? You
Like you
know,
came in blessed already with some abilities.
like yeah, or something like yeah, what's your secrets, you know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
So
True.
that's very interesting, and just like the creatures and every man, I could go on and on. I'm very excited. I'm glad to hear that this game is coming out later this year. um you know, there's not a concrete date, it's
No
just
date.
saying
Yeah. Okay.
holiday 2022. So of course, you know, we're in an era where delays are a lot more normal than
Possible.
usual.
Right.
So I wouldn't be too surprised if it got delayed. Like like I said, it seems like the new time to release games is earlier in the year. So, you know, if it did get delayed, maybe earlier next year. But definitely I'm looking forward to this holiday. Yep.
Big fact.
Um, was there anything else you wanted to talk
No,
about this game?
no, man.
Okay.
I'm just excited, man. I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you the date, but you answered that. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Holiday 2022. Yes, sir. So definitely we'll be looking more for that later on in the year. So we're actually going to go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is the ID at Xbox event. All right. So of course um this actually happened the day prior to the Hogwarts Legacy State of Play dedication that they did. And this was just surprising because Xbox has kind of been laying low ever since the acquisition, or they announcing that they're trying to acquire Activision Blizzard. And I believe Xbox has been spoiling the gaming community like well before the generation even started, with just like news after news, announcements after announcements. Like Xbox was feeding us content creators, feeding us for years, and it seems like they're on a little hiatus right now. So definitely love to see that Nintendo had their strong direct here recently, and Sony's been knocking it out the park with back to back state of plays. So we're very thankful for that. But Xbox went ahead and announced that they're doing their ID at Xbox event once again this year, where they go ahead and highlight and put a spotlight on in independent games and the developers, and talk to them and just give them exposure and support and things like that. So so pretty much Xbox held an independent developer event showcasing and supporting their games. Um, we're going to go ahead and run. There was quite a few games that was announced during the event, so we're going to talk about some of the games that interest me or interest us in a way. And then definitely want to say, like, the indie scene is bigger than ever nowadays. I feel like I've never really been into indie games at all until here recently, maybe because I'm getting older, and I feel like they push the envelope better when it comes to their games, because they have to stand out in a way from these AAA games. And then not only that, like, the AAA games stay with the same formula. They don't like to branch out as much either. So it's up to these independent developers to push the envelope and try new things, and hey man, just change the game. So I'm gonna read some stuff off this article. I'm not gonna pull it up here because there's too much going on the page. Um, but yeah, okay. So this is also another article from IGN. It's pretty much everything we saw at the ID at Xbox event. All right, so pretty much I'm gonna just go down the list of games that caught my eye. Want to go ahead and talk about? Well, Shane, I'm gonna start with you before I go down the list. Was there any games that caught your attention during this ID at Xbox?
let
I
me
know I put you
see.
on the spot right
Yeah,
now.
you
So
put me on the spot. Yeah, I actually have. Let me pull it up real quick. I had it pulled up earlier. It was a few games that it caught my eye there. Let me see here. If I can
okay.
find the
Well, while
link.
you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and do the first one here then.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So this one, which caught my eye pretty much immediately, was Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, and it's from the studio behind 2018's Ashen. That comes a new open world action RPG. You'll play as a pistol wielding woman named Noor and her fox-like companion Inky, I think that's how you pronounce it, on a journey of vengeance, gunpowder, and magic in humanity's last stand. So, like, gunpowder. So you're gonna be shooting weapons, and you got magic as well thrown in there. You also have a fox-like companion. The trailer that they showed, it definitely caught my attention. Like the enemy that she was getting ready to attack in that trailer. Like, I just liked how he was pretty much dead, and he had the sword in his head, and he like lifted his head up through the blade of the sword first, and then pulled the sword out of his head. I was like, oh, that was pretty sick. I ain't even gonna front. But it's still not too much we know about this game. It says that it's coming out later this year in 2022 on the Series X and S and Xbox One, and it will be a day one launch on Game Pass. All right, Shane, did you notice this one at all, or was there anything else that caught your
Uh,
attention before I
uh,
go on to my next
no,
one?
no, I didn't notice this one, but of course, the one I think I've heard a lot about this, that tunic. Is that what it
Yes,
is?
yeah, that was one
Yes,
of mine. Yep.
yes, that right there, that definitely caught my eye right there. What it says, like a fox, uh, sword wielding fox. That's so, wow. Let me read it here. Let's see. Take control of adorable fox with a sword in this Zelda-like action adventure game. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like something that would be look like a Zelda Fox type style, like a
Yep.
Zelda, but you're a fox. And I think they actually got the inspiration from like the first Zelda, not the new Zeldas everyone
No, 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 no.
know of as today.
The classic
Yeah,
Zeldas.
but the classic Zelda,
Yeah.
Nintendo days, the first Nintendo, So,
Hmm.
but yeah, that would definitely caught my eye, man. I definitely would have checked that out for sure.
Yeah, that was probably the main one that everybody was
Yes,
waiting for because this has been shown and introduced like a few years ago now, and I believe it was just made by like one person primarily, so that's probably why it took so long. I did hear like, of course, he had like
really.
a couple other people like help with like soundtrack and some art and stuff like that. So, but it was
Right.
mainly by just one developer, and definitely it like this game is coming at it's actually available right now. It was stealth dropped on Game Pass. Like they never said that it was going to come out for Game Pass, but they went ahead and announced it during this event,
Oh, is
and
that
it
right?
yeah, so it's out right now on Series X and S and Xbox One. So definitely go ahead and like I said, out of all the games here on this list, this was probably the most anticipated and the most, uh, pretty much the biggest one that people wanted to get their hands on.
Facts. Yeah, I did
Hmm.
not know it's stealth drop, so that's good to know. I'm definitely gonna have to download that and take a break from Elden Ring and check it out for sure, man.
All right. So definitely, let's see here. So of course, I'm gonna go ahead and so we talked about this on last week's show because it was actually first announced at Sony State of Play when, but with their Japanese developers that they were trying to support, and it's called Trek to Yami. It says, let's see, it's saying pretty much saying that we seen it on last week's State of Play, but we're not complaining about another look at this gorgeous black and white samurai action adventure that evokes memories of Kurosawa films and Old Boy's iconic hallway fight. Like I said, it seems like this is the decade of samurais. We've been seeing all kinds of samurai related games with Ghost of Tsushima. We've seen Sekiro, and then this game and Sifu, and like a martial arts samurai, just Japanese culture inspired games. So this one, there's no release date yet. Um, it says the platform is coming to multiple consoles, and we don't know if it's coming directly to Game Pass or not. They just wanted to go ahead and show more gameplay about this gorgeous game. All right. So Shane, was there anything else?
Yeah, what's it called? Here it is right here. That there's no light. Uh, I watched
Hmm.
the trailer on that, and that one also seemed interesting to me. It also looked like a older style type game. It kind of reminded me of like a Pokemon sort of kind of like the
Hmm.
gameplay type style, like with the older
Hmm.
Nintendo Pokemon games. But just the story and everything was pretty interesting to me, the way that things were going or whatnot, and how like the choices you make affect you throughout the game, like a lot of games nowadays. Uh, but yeah, that one really caught my eye as well.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, definitely. And you said that there's no light.
there is
Yeah,
no light, yes sir.
yeah. I don't see when that game is supposed to come out or anything.
Right, yeah, it doesn't give no description or anything, but that one definitely caught my eye.
All right. So I think this well, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about well, first, I'm gonna just throw in two. I know Shredders, like I said, I've been playing that. That went ahead and they showcased that as well. Of course, like a day or two prior before it released on Game Pass. And that game, like I said, I've been addicted to that game. Just hitting the slopes, hitting jumps, doing like 1080s, just going way past 1080, like just doing like crazy spins, and just having fun, man. It's a nice chill game. The story is like, it's just, it's kind of funny, cringy at the same time, but it's funny. And you just do little challenges and stuff. They have actual pro snowboarders there. All of their acting, I feel like, they're not the best actors, but this game is definitely charming in its own way. If you like, shredding the slopes or snowboarding games or thing like Tony Hawk or anything like that, this is the game for you. I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's taking up some of my time as well. But I'm also going to talk about Void Train. I seen this gameplay and it definitely had me intrigued. It looks like you're some kind of bandits on these floating train tracks with trains on them, and you see another person's train, and like you can like hook a zip line to their train and like connect to them and like shoot them, and there's all kinds of fighting back and forth like that. That's pretty much the gist that I got from the trailer. I highly recommend checking out the trailer because I probably sold it like not so great. Are you watching the video right now?
Yes, sir.
um Definitely this game, I think it, like I said, it intrigued me. I want to know a little bit more about this game. I don't think it showed too much from what I can remember, but yeah, um this game should be coming out. Like I said, I don't see a release date or anything like that. I probably just skipped it. But Shane, was there any other games that you seen during this? And if not, like, what do you think of this type of event highlighting independent developers?
Oh man. Pretty much is what you said at Shredders as well. But I definitely
Hmm.
want to check that out. That Void Train. Oh, I definitely this trailer looks pretty dope from
Hmm.
what I'm seeing of it right now. Uh, but as far as the doing the event or just indie games, man, hey, I'm all
Yeah.
for it, man. I think they deserve it. People put a lot of hard work and time and effort into these games, and sometimes
Hmm.
just because it's an indie game doesn't mean it's a good game. Sometimes it just needs a little light shined on it sometime from time to time, kind of like
Yep.
the feature or the alley oop, you know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I'm all for an event like this. I know I believe our last episode I said something about I wish Xbox would do more events and stuff, kind of like the state of play and whatnot. But this right here, hey, this appeases my appetite for a minute. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Hmm.
If they would mix stuff in these type of things in with more information on bigger games every now and again. It doesn't always have to be AAA games. You know what I mean? They can
Hmm.
give us this once every couple months, and then maybe hit us with a show about some AAA games in a few months, a month or
Hmm.
so. You know what I'm saying? And keep mixing up like that. I'd be totally fine with it, man. As long as they keep the games and content coming. And that's one thing I had actually thought about over the week since our last episode is that right now what really if they did have a show, there's not really much I feel like they could really show us. I feel like once they in the upcoming year or so, when the games start being when they start releasing a game every quarter, a AAA game every quarter, more often with hitting us with that content. I actually believe that they may actually start doing more shows like a state of play or whatnot, because then they would have them. They got to get the machine going. You know what I mean? They're just now getting the
Hmm.
machine started up. And yes, they have stuff in the works, but they don't have stuff to just keep showing and talking to us about the same stuff every couple of months.
Right.
So I think once they get the machine going, man, then they definitely have plenty of content to give to us, man.
Yeah. Pretty much, I'm with you. I really liked it. Like I said, I've been getting I've been very intrigued with these independent games, just because I feel like they offer more than these AAA experiences do. in my opinion. Like I said, I said this generation, I want new experiences. I'm not too worried about graphics or anything like that. I want them to push the envelope with gaming, with the experiences, and maybe just the gameplay mechanics and things like that. That's what I'm looking for this generation, because last generation just felt like a continuation of the generation before that, which we've then already seen that, done that. You know what I'm saying? It just went on for way too long. So this generation, I want it to feel like the 360 and PlayStation 3 generation, where like I felt like that was the pinnacle of gaming at that point, when it was like pushing new IPs, new experiences. Like it was a lot of games and a lot of franchises that we know today that got started during that generation compared to last generation. And I feel like the AAA games aren't necessarily, at least the past few years, aren't hitting that mark.
They been
So
hitting. No, facts.
so I'm looking at these
Been a
independent
lot of
developers.
misses.
Yeah, yeah. So you feel me on that. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at these independent developers. Like, hey man, come with the heat, come with the creativity, come with these new experiences, and then these AAA developers and publishers are going to look at you and try to mimic that or
And bite
pick
off
you
of
up and bite off of it, and just go with it from there. That's the whole point. The independent developers bring in new ideas, and the AAA games just have the resources and more money to flesh it out and make something bigger out of it, in my
it.
opinion.
I feel like
So
it pushes the whole industry forward, man. Like you said, and that they come with these new different ideas,
mhm,
shine a different spotlight on something different. Like instead of the same games every year, like Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, you know what I mean? The
yep,
same thing every year. We need something different, new experiences.
hmm, exactly, I agree. So, but that's all I had to say about this. Did you have anything to
Same,
add on
man.
to it?
Same, no, man.
All
It's
right.
pretty good.
So we're going to go ahead and move to our last topic of discussion here, which is, you know, Perfect Dark seems to be having a little bit of development issues. Uh, looking at the staff, most of the staff is leaving. So I'm gonna
Ooh.
go ahead and let me see what my notes actually said. Um, so so it seems like that key people are actually quitting or leaving. I wouldn't say quitting. They're leaving the initiative to do bigger and better things. So we're going to go ahead and just talk about. I'll have an article here, also from IGN. The last article was from IGN as well, if I didn't mention that before. Let's see. So let's pull it. I haven't pulled up here. So of course, it seems like Perfect Dark Reboot Studio reportedly sees staff departures due to slow development progress. All right, so I got some stuff highlighted here. So a new report suggests that Microsoft's The Initiative, the studio developing a reboot of Perfect Dark, has suffered significant staff departures over the past 12 months. Staff are apparently leaving the company due to a lack of creative autonomy and slow development progress. The report from VGC, which is where the information they got to create this article, is compiled from interviews with unnamed X Initiative employees and analysis of the studio structure. It notes that around 34 people have quit within the last year,
Whoa.
including much of the senior design team. Game director Dan Newberger appears to have left the team this year, and previous departures include design director Drew Murray, lead level designer Chris O'Neill, principal world builder uh, Joe Jolyn Myers, and several more from the core team. All right. Reasons given for staff departures predominantly include a feeling that the studio was not a collaborative place to work. Staff apparently felt unheard by their seniors on issues such as development priorities, project planning, and team staffing. The alleged result of this was a project that developed painfully slow and a lack of company culture. Making games is hard enough, let alone when you feel like you can't get through to people making the decisions that affect everyone, one source says. All right. VGC sources claim that the culture problem was part of the reason for bringing Crystal Dynamics on board. Um, Gallagher, who remains as studio head at the initiative, said, "In this journey, it's not uncommon for there to be staffing changes, especially during a time of global upheaval over the last 2 years. And there's plenty more work in front of us to deliver a fantastic, perfect dark experience to our players." The report's sources suggest that the large change in staff and the inclusion of Crystal Dynamics may well have triggered an internal soft reboot of Perfect Dark, and that a final release could well still be years away. All right. So, Shane, man, this is probably one of probably the biggest topic that came out this week um, during the around in the gaming community. What do you think of this? First of all, like, what were are you excited for this new Perfect Dark when they announced
Yes,
it
yes,
and
I was.
everything? And then
Yeah.
like, how do you feel about what I just read to you and the what you've been hearing about the issues that they've been having within the studio and the development of Perfect Dark?
Okay. First of all, let me start off by saying that I was definitely excited for this game, man. I don't know if you remember playing Perfect Dark, but it was
Oh
a
yeah,
classic, man.
yes.
Classic. Like it
Coming
was,
off of 007 GoldenEye.
yeah, going off of 007, and like it
Hmm.
just classic, man. Everybody loved it. I remember running home after school to go play it with my friends and whatnot. It was definitely a great game. So for them to be uh, rebooting it and bringing it back, man, like I was actually surprised. I didn't think we'd ever see it again, honestly.
Hmm.
And people have been asking for it for years. For years, people have been asking for it. Another perfect dark, another perfect dark.
Yeah.
And so for them to finally be doing it, it's amazing, man. Like I was extremely excited for this.
Hmm.
Uh, Now, as far as the news dropping now, it worries me, man. This really, really, really worries me because, for one, everyone's leaving. Why? I know they just gave us an answer, but I just feel like there's more to it. Like, I mean, I understand, you know, your boss is not listening to you, slowing up the process and whatnot, but I just feel like there has to be more to it. Like, I mean, everybody knows what it feels like to not be heard, and when you see a solution to a problem and people are not hearing you, and it'll make things easier in your life and their life, but they're not the ones with the boots in the dirt. You know what I mean? Say
Hmm.
they don't understand. That just these few simple things would make things easier. But sometimes you got to work through it. But for that many people to leave, it just seems to me that there's a serious issue here, a
Hmm.
serious issue. That's a lot of people walking away from a project, man. You know, and that worries me because what what type of strain is this putting on the development of the game? Are things going to be lacking? Are things going to be bit and pieced together? Like I just worry that this could hinder the game in some way or some fashion. I hope that's not the case. I hope they can get it together, but I don't blame these people for leaving.
Hmm.
I'm sure we've all had a job where we had to do things like this. So I definitely understand, but so I praise them for leaving. There's no need to stick around a place where you don't feel like uh, you're being heard. Your voice is being heard, especially when you're working in a team environment. We're all working together. You're waiting on me to do this. I need your response back on that. You know what I mean? The whole
Yep.
ecosystem. We all got to keep this thing going in a complete circle so we can get this done. And if you got people hindering you from doing that, it makes things tough. Definitely tough. So I just hope that it doesn't hinder the game.
Yeah. I, I mean, everything you said, I agree to. Like, while you were explaining that or expressing yourself, I um I couldn't help but think, like, like you said, why I'm like, I know a lot more people have left, but I feel like the initiative was made up of like the top. and the best of what every studio, like they was pulling people from Naughty Dog and pulling people from Crystal Dynamics, and they were just pulling the top people that helped make these big franchises. I think they took people from Insomniac, and he went back to Insomniac to work on Wolverine and things like that. Like they were just pulling these big head honcho people that seemed to be big, where they were at, and they came here to make a super uh developer, within the initiative. And I just feel like, you have all of those people that had certain roles, and there's one head director, and he probably isn't giving them, like, not letting them really, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we're not going to do that type deal. Or, just making things a little bit more different. And everybody comes from a different culture on how they created these massive, very well received video games and things like that. So maybe that was just a thought on what possibly could have happened. I know there was probably like smaller people that probably left as well. And it just seems like, they brought in, it makes me feel like when they first announced that they were having Crystal Dynamics join to help with the development, people were saying like, yes, it seems like they got the core gameplay down right. There's only like so many people in the initiative. They need a lot more people to help bring this game to life or bring it to reality. So it made it seem like they were just adding, because they said Crystal Dynamics has like 200 employees. Oh yeah, and then the initiative, I mean, they said 34 left, so they would have like 50, if 60 people, if that, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like, they just added the more resources to help deliver this game and get it out. And I remember, I want to say no, it was when the initiative was first starting out. Phil Spencer even said that he was playing, like the game that they were creating was in a playable state where he even got to play it. So, like you said, this is concerning. Like, hold up. Like, pretty much they had the foundation, had everything laid out. They just needed help, but things aren't seeming to go smoothly. Now, the article did state, of course, video games are hard to develop for, especially in today's climate and things like that. But still, this is stuff you really don't want to hear. Um, when it comes to this, it just seems like, we're just gonna have to put this game on the back burner and just wait until we can hear more. It seems like the game director, the head of director or whatever, well, I forgot his name. Pull it up here just so I can actually put a name to it. Uh, Daryl Gallagher. It seems like he's pretty much saying that the game, everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still going to deliver this game. And there's still more work to do and things like that. So he still feels confident about creating this game. So that's a good thing. I don't know if that's just PR
Definitely.
stuff, you know
Right.
what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But I mean, for
Trying
him
to make us
to,
happy.
yeah, which it more than likely be, but I'm gonna just take that, like, yeah, people are leaving, probably creative differences. But also there's one thing that people are saying, like, they think, well, if people are leaving, this game is probably about to wrap up.
Complete. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're done. And they're like, okay, we don't want to stay here because of the culture type deal. We're just gonna go ahead and go somewhere else and work on something different. So that's probably what's gonna happen too, or that's probably what's happening as well. Like, the game's pretty much finished. You're
Let's
done
hope.
here. You don't need me no more. Crystal Dynamics is just tightening everything up, so we can actually ship this game out on time and be the best product it can be. We're going to go ahead and move on to different projects. So that's what I will agree. Short term, it is a little bit concerning. I'm gonna stay positive with it because I feel like Xbox is in a better position when it comes to handling developers and dev studios and game studios like that. So people were pointing at Xbox, but it seems like this is more of the developer itself. Like
Internal thing.
they're
Right.
not saying Xbox is the one messing with this. It's internally, like you said.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it there, man. Hopefully, like you said, I'm very excited for this game. The last Perfect Dark that came out really wasn't that great. So this is like a redemption reboot type deal that I'm really looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, was there anything else you wanted to talk about this? Express your opinions about it?
Oh man, I just hope they get it together, man. And I hope the game comes out in a good state. You know what I mean? And hopefully it's close to being done. But they have no window about how much longer or how far they are into the game or anything.
Hmm. No, not that I know
No,
of.
yeah, I didn't think so. So I
Mhm.
mean,
People are targeting like they were saying like 2023, 2024
okay,
ish. So soon.
right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. Just hope this doesn't hinder it, and we'll just have to wait and see what the reviews are talking about, and when we get our hands on it, make it come to our own conclusion.
Yep. I
So,
agree. All right. So we're going to go ahead and actually start wrapping up the show. That's pretty much what we had for you guys in today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We went ahead and talked about the state of play, focusing on Hogwarts Legacy. We also talked about the ID at Xbox event that was held a day prior to the state of play. And then we also talked about the troubles the initiative is having with developing Perfect Dark with staff leaving and things like that, and it may get pushed back. So definitely, hopefully, all goes well there. Let us know, or tell us what you guys think about these topics and of discussions that we've been having here. Just go ahead and follow the Gap on like and subscribe to the Gamers Anonymous podcast YouTube channel. Go ahead and comment down below what you think about the show or what you think about the topics that we talked about. You can also tweet me or talk about these topics as well at me on Twitter, which my Twitter handle is right below my screen here, which is Donnie Tress, DONNYTR, the number 3S, for the audio listeners there. Just go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I follow back. And like I said, talk about video games, pop culture, sports, music, family, and things like that. So definitely go ahead and give me a follow. Uh, Shane, tell these people where they can find you at.
yeah, man, you all know where to reach me, but if you don't know, it's on Twitter at Turptech. That's TURPTECH, man. I just want to thank you all for listening and joining in with us, man. And we're trying to get this content out to y'all. We're trying to be more steady with it, you know what I mean? Have it coming every week. Hopefully, we'll be able to produce more content here very, very, very soon. So
Yes,
please, in the comments, let us know your opinions. Let us know if good, bad, whatever. If y'all have a discussion or
everything.
topic y'all want us to talk about, let us know, man. And also, I know I didn't talk to you about this earlier, but I wanted to go ahead and do it live while we were recording.
Okay.
Uh, since we actually got a little bit of a viewer base, man, maybe here in the next show or two, I want to try to get together and put it together a little giveaway. We'll have
Oh,
to talk about that. I mean, nothing major, man. It's something small. But I know we tried that once before, but nobody
yeah, yeah,
ever
yeah.
responded. But
It's still up in the air.
yeah, right. Nobody ever responded. But yeah, I want to go ahead and try to put one together. 'Cause I actually have a couple of buddies that actually do listen to the show regularly every week since we've been putting it out hard. So I just want to put that out there to try to give people a little reason to keep coming back, man, and just showing that we appreciate them and you know keep them coming. So.
Yes, sir. Definitely, we're going to look into doing something like that. That sounds like a very good idea. I think we're in a better place than we were the last time we tried to do something like that. So definitely. But of course, this is the show. Make sure you subscribe to the Gamers Anonymous podcast YouTube. Follow us if you're an audio listener. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go ahead and leave a review, man. It really appreciate it, and it'll help out the channel tremendously. So, of course, hope you like the show. It's been fun. It's been real. But of course, until next time, never stop gaming.
Never.
Peace.